Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Lancescurv. We want to talk about something that we usually don't talk about in a certain way. I can't say in every situation that a woman or a single mother has been negligent, but I couldn't tell you the percentages with their children, how they leave their children available to these predators. I can't say the SEX word. I don't want to mix it up too much because they'll flag this video. But there's a clip I'm going to play in a little while. But let me just say this. There are too many, and again, do not come at me because I'm telling the truth about this and you know it. There are too many hot to trot single mothers. May I say single black mothers? We know that it's all races that happens to, but I'm focusing on the negligence that I've seen in the past, that I see in the present, and I see continuously where the children become harmed. I'm not going to say it's every single black mother, so don't come at me that way. What I am saying is that there are too many single black mothers who are so desperate to have a man in their bed that they just don't check this man out and keep their eye on this man. Now, we know women molest children also. I understand that. This video is not for that. Right now, I'm speaking about the single women, the mothers who have children who let a man into their house, whether it's quick or it takes time. Really, to me, you had those children. That's your primary focus. We all have needs. I understand that. We all have intimate needs, but that should not take priority over your children, your young children. As a matter of fact, that man should never be around your young children. They shouldn't even know who he is in this day and age. Because what do you think a person who would do something to a child looks like? Huh? What do you think they look like? I mean, when I worked with the incarcerated, right? I'll tell you one thing. Those were some of the most honest acting guys you ever want to see. They were so polite and so trustworthy and so mannerable. But see, this is how they got next to these women, because they don't want you. They want your children. Now, is this every man? No, I'm not saying that. But it's too many. And let me tell you something. There is no way to know what's in a man's heart. Well, I checked his record. Well, you checked his record, but maybe he didn't get caught doing what he does or what he likes to do. You don't know what's in a man's heart. So you say, well, my children are this age or that age. Until they're out the house, you don't bring anybody in that house. That's the bottom line. That's the only way that I see that they can be protected. So I'm going to roll this clip, and I want to make sure you see what I saw. Let's go to this clip here. Let's make sure. Let's make sure. Now, where am I? Okay, here we go. Check this out. I'm going to run it twice, y'all.
Incredibly sad, incredibly unspeakable, and we want to bring justice to her and her family.
A 41-year-old man made a 12-year-old girl think she was in love with him, but when she told him she was pregnant, he took her life and made the girl disappear from this world.
I'm looking for my cousin that's missing. She's a 13-year-old girl.
12-year-old Nazia Harris was last seen getting off the school bus at the corner of Cornwall and 3 Mile Road in Detroit on January 9th last year. According to evidence found by the police, Harris was already 2 months pregnant when he went missing. Although Harris has not been found yet, numerous pieces of evidence indicate that she has passed away. Jarvis Ramon Butts, 41, is facing multiple felony charges for taking Harris's life. He is the father of an unborn child. The court revealed that Butts had been S.A. Harris since 2022, and they met because Butts was Harris's aunt's boyfriend. The court disclosed the disturbing information that Butts sent to Harris before her disappearance. In the message, Harris told Butts that she was pregnant and talked about encountering trouble at school due to her baby and seeking help from Butts. Butts killed her to evade responsibility and tried to cover up the evidence. According to reports, this is not the only S.A. case in which Butts was involved. The prosecutor claimed that he had targeted women and befriended them in order to approach their daughters and S.A. them. Butts' trial is scheduled to begin on January 16th. What kind of punishment do you think Butts should receive?
Do you think he should receive? Many people would say an instant, that's too easy. I don't know what's on the other side. I ain't been there and I'm not trying to go there right now. I got too much things to do in this life. I say, torture him for life. See, did you see the photo of the aunt? Right? Look, we all come in different shapes and sizes, but that man did not choose her for her. She could be a sweet woman. She could be the nicest person in the world, but I already know the game. This guy wasn't a bad looking guy. I'm not funny duddy like that, but I got to give credit where credit is due. He used that. He saw the young girl and said, you know what? I'm going to get with this one so I can get to her. This is what a lot of them do. And a lot of them take their sweet, sweet, sweet time. They take their sweet time. They take their sweet time and get the trust. Now, I jotted down a few notes and I'm going to read them off here. Number 1, pretending to be romantically interested in the mother or the caretaker or the aunt, whoever else is over this child. They'll sweeten you up. They'll seduce you. They'll make you feel. Let me tell you something. They will throw it down. They'll throw it down so good, and you swear that, oh, they're in love with me. They want to be with me. We have a future together. And he gets along so well with my daughter. It's a wrap. Because a lot of our sisters oftentimes have children very young. They're fooled. They have the child, and the guy is gone. So they'll struggle and take their time, and they'll become responsible. But after they get to a certain point of being responsible, they say, hey, I can handle a man in my life. I would love to have a good man in my life. So you can even see. Well, how do you know, SCURV? Look, after almost 62 years on this earth, I can look at this joker after what he did and backtrack and say, you know what? I can see his game. This is how these men do. I've known personally men and a man. Men from when I worked with the incarcerated as a corrections officer, and somebody that I know got busted and all his business was put out there. This is real. And so when you see the personality traits of these men, there's no way of looking at them and knowing. A lot of them have some really great outward traits. And they've patterned themselves a certain way to look like the real thing and become everything that you ever hoped for as a woman until they get next to that child. They'll also offer financial or emotional support to gain trust. You might be a little down and out. Things might be tight. This man takes an interest to you and he starts to help you out. Well, this is an easy way to make you drop your guard. You say, he's helping me out. He can't be all that bad. He's putting the money where his mouth is. That didn't sound right. I don't know. But he wins you over with the money. and the loving and making it seem as though he's interested in you. Ain't that something, right? Volunteering to babysit or spend time with the child. Look, you can't even trust some fathers these days, right? But it warms your heart over once you trust this person, which trust has to be earned, and really not even that. Don't bring them around. But when that woman who wants to feel like a nuclear family and has been a single mother for so long and sees this man who is loving her and giving her money and wanting to spend time with the child, it gives her a sense of being complete. Like, wow, I'm walking down the street with my man, even though that's not the father of the child. It gives her that sense and that feeling of validation. Don't let that fool you. They'll use that just as quick to get to that child. And the child will feel a certain way, like, wow, this feels good to have my mother and the male energy. I remember riding the bus. Well, not just riding the bus, but driving the bus. Do you know how many times we had women with their children come on, and the little girl, pretty much the little girls, not so much the little boys, but they're just sitting there looking at me. They're sitting in the front and they're staring at me because I always kept myself groomed. I always act polite. I was always professional when I drove the bus, and it was my masculine energy that they were drawn to. The same thing kicks in when that woman brings that man into the house. The little girl can't help it. And this man is treating her so nice, so it fills a void in both the mother and the daughter. And we got to say son also, because these predators, they don't discriminate. But we're speaking about this particular case, right? Next, exploiting the mother's busy schedule to spend unsupervised time with that child. Well, you know, babysitters are expensive, and I'm off for the next 3 days. Well, listen, why don't you let me come around and I'll look after her while you go to work, and you could save yourself some money, and you know that this child or your child is going to be safe. Oh, mommy, can I spend time? If they're that age to be able to talk. And then when you come back home, nothing happens that first time. Nothing may happen for weeks, months. But that child begins to love this man because, mommy, he took me to the movies. He bought me candy. He bought this nice outfit. He's love bombing the hell out of y'all. And it feels good. And you can't figure that it might just be too good to be true. Trust no one. In this time now, trust no one. And any righteous man is going to say, hey, listen, we have our thing going on. Your child is this age. If we're to be, we will be. And when your child is older, we can take it further. But that thing feels good in the middle of the night. You want it 24/7. And that's the problem. And that's what they use. Manipulating the mother's vulnerabilities, such as loneliness or financial struggles. Now, you love your daughter. But the thing is, it's nothing like being in the company of your man who's holding you, who makes you feel secure, who makes you feel more like a woman. A child can't do that. And you love being with your child. But because there's no man in your life, your existence is imbalanced. And don't tell me, ladies, that you don't need a man. You need a man. You just don't need a no good man. And sometimes and oftentimes when we see and hear women speak this way, it's because they made bad choices. But there's nothing like a good, real, hardworking, intelligent, decent, respectable. You could throw good looking in there, but all those other qualities make that man look good. But he will exploit your loneliness. He's real, and you're sitting at home and your baby's sleeping and you want him there. And you make it hard for him not to come there. And that's the problem. That's the big, big problem. Gaining trust by presenting themselves as a protector or role model for the child. But they do this in a subtle way. They don't do it where they're just saying it outright. But they make you feel secure. Maybe you go with your child places that you really wouldn't go unprotected and by yourself. And you come up to this realization on your own and you say, wow, I feel so safe. I have more freedom. Life is better having this good man around. And of course, if you feel safe, that's going to convey over to how your child feels, because you're going to act different. And the child is going to feel safer and look to this man as a protector and one to look out for their best interests. Creating opportunities to be alone with the child, such as outings or helping with homework. It's just another way to endear that child to that man, to be around and to seem helpful. And of course, you like it because it's what you want. If it's a good man, that's what you want. And it feels so good. And he is just so helpful. So, and then now you have a little more free time. Maybe you can sleep a little longer. You know, maybe you're working 2 jobs. You say, wow, I'm getting more rest. This man is not just a person who's coming around for me just to get one thing. He's coming around to help out. And that's what a man is supposed to do. If he wants me, he's going to help out with my daughter, my children, and he's doing the damn thing. And you go ahead and you leave your child with this predator who's taking his time and grooming that child and is grooming you too, right? Grooming the child through attention, gifts, or secret keeping. You know, they'll reward the child with, you know, the child does something bad. It's like, okay, listen, this is our secret. I'm not going to tell your mother that you failed that class. I'm not going to tell your mother that you broke that vase over there. I'm just going to go to the store and get another one. So listen, let's keep that secret between you and me. See, when they start doing that in favor of the child to protect the child from any punishment or any chastisement for doing something wrong or even making a mistake, then now when it comes time to keep a secret the other way, the child is more apt to doing so. Well, those 10 secrets that we kept to protect me, I can let that pass that he fondled my breast. Now, it's not going to start out that way, right? It's going to take his time. It's going to take his time and push the limit slowly but surely. That's the way it works. Befriending the mother's social circle to blend in. Being friends with the mother's friends, so the girlfriends or the male friends or that little sassy, zesty one, girl, you got a good man right there. Winning them over is like lobbying for lobbyists, for politicians to get favor, right? So guess what? Your girlfriends, your friends, your whole inner circle, he took over for his benefit to prove to them that he's this good man, knowing that they're watching him and he's putting on a performance of a lifetime. But he's doing it in a subtle way over time. And who knows, maybe he has other kids that he's grooming like this. We don't know. But these predators target single mothers. They don't want you. They want your children. I'm going to play this clip one more time. One more time. Just give me a second here. I'm going to play it one more time. And I just want your thoughts after this video is over.
Incredibly sad, incredibly unspeakable, and we want to bring justice to her and her family.
A 41-year-old man made a 12-year-old girl think she was in love with him, but when she told him she was pregnant, he took her life and made the girl disappear from this world.
I'm looking for my cousin that's missing. She a 13-year-old girl.
12-year-old Nazia Harris was last seen getting off the school bus at the corner of Cornwall and 3 Mile Road in Detroit on January 9th last year. According to evidence found by the police, Harris was already 2 months pregnant when he went missing. Although Harris has not been found yet, numerous pieces of evidence indicate that she has passed away. Jarvis Ramon Butts, 41, is facing multiple felony charges for taking Harris's life. He is the father of an unborn child. The court revealed that Butts had been S.A. Harris since 2022, and they met because Butts was Harris's aunt's boyfriend. The court disclosed the disturbing information that Butts sent to Harris before her disappearance. In the message, Harris told Butts that she was pregnant and talked about encountering trouble at school due to her baby and seeking help from Butts. Butts killed her to evade responsibility and tried to cover up the evidence. According to reports, this is not the only S.A. case in which Butts was involved. The prosecutor claimed that he had targeted women and befriended them in order to approach their daughters and S.A. them. Butts' trial is scheduled to begin on January 16th. What kind of punishment do you think Butts should receive?
You tell me, what punishment do you think he should receive? Instant cutting the stuff off and putting hot pepper on him and putting him out in the woods somewhere so he can get bit up? Say what you want. Because when you do this to a child, you kill something in that child that they can never give for the rest of their life. And the nerve to make this child feel, because, you know, children are getting older now in their minds, so they think, but they're not emotionally ready for certain things. And this man, I can't even call him a man. He's a male. Anyway, I want to hear from you. I want to hear your comments, your opinions, and let me know. And we'll talk about this again. Thank you so much. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And let's keep the ball rolling. But keep your eyes open, because you just don't know how things are in a person's heart, especially these predatory men. Much love to you all. Lancescurv out. On to the next one.
Lancescurv.com. Bold, raw, and uncut.